Courage, Chapter 8. Over the next few days, I keep trying to pretend things are normal. I almost succeed, right up until L Day. Mom puts a vase of fresh flowers in the living room before leaving to go to a couple hours away in Pontiac, Illinois. It's early morning and the sun is barely visible through a dark haze of clouds. Rochelle and I are supposed to dress nice. Rochelle is wearing a purple dress with lace on the collar. Rochelle is Mom told me to make sure I put on a fresh shirt and the blue pants I wear for church. I have just finished feeding my sister lunch when I hear Mom's key in the lock. The door opens and my big brother Lamont steps inside the apartment door holding a duffel bag. He crosses the room to stand towering over me and drops the bag with a thump at my feet. Come on, God, how about a bolt of lightning right between my eyes? Maybe 8 feet up, centered over my head. Nothing happens. You rouge, where it's stacked, Lamont says, and part brain wiggles at the sound of the nickname I heard in forever. He uses his first words to remind me that I'm little, unimportant, someone he should order around. My name is Tashawn, I remind him. It's not old times, and I no longer do hero worship. My heart thumps painfully as I tilt my head to look into the nearly black eyes. The top of my head almost reaches his shoulder. I've forgotten how much he looks like Dad. He's grown an ugly tuft of hair under his lip and above his skin. A soul patch that doesn't work on his face. Standing in the middle of the living room, he looks sharp wearing the new jacket, shirt, and slacks Mom bought for him. New dress shoes, too, but not the high-top sneakers that he always insists on wearing. He's put on more muscle. He's broader than ever, shoulders leave him huge and menacing. I can think of all sort of creative ways to make you sorry kind of way. There is a scar over his left eye that wasn't there when he left. But his lips widen in the same sunshine grin that attracted almost everyone, even his enemies. I miss you, he continues. Yeah, you sure did. I barely keep rolling my eyes. I wouldn't believe anything that comes out of his mouth. I know how easily his expression can change to the sneer that makes people back away. Maybe he missed being out, doing whatever he wanted when he wanted. But he didn't miss me enough to put my name on his list of allowed visitors. Mom pats her hair, a sign that she's nervous. She dressed up, too, and put on jewelry. A bracelet jangles when she moves, and her golden butterfly brooch shines on one shoulder of her pink blouse. Let T show you around. I'll be back soon, Mom says before staring at the door. Just before we got there. Where are you going, he asks, sounding confused. I need to return the car, she says, and hurries out the door. Lamont turns back to me. What does she mean, return? He and I walk to the front window where we watch Mom climb behind the wheel of a Lucher and drive off. It's a rental, I explain. Pretty fancy car for a rental, Mom. For a rental. Lamont frowned, apparently finding it hard to believe. It's a neat car, one I never got to ride in. We never had a car, even when Dad was alive. He always said a car in the city was a crazy expense. A lot of people in Chicago do not own cars. The rental fee for one day would pay... I'll just continue. At swimming camp. Mom's gotta return it quick or pay a late penalty. You'll have to learn to walk again now that you're back. He gives me a stilted-eyed stare so intense my stomach ties into a hangman's noose. Good thing I'm done with a lot of the walking in the prison. On to the prison laundry job I had. If you need shirts washed and pressed, I'm your guy. He turns away from the window and rubs a hand over his head. Lamont used to be an imitation, he said. Pitbull, Mr. Worldwide, keeping his head shaved, completely bald. His hair has grown several inches inches, dark and thick, hiding the skull tattoos that branded him as a bad guy. He must have been aching to get to a barber shop. That makes me grin. I was hoping he would feel guilt. It was nice to get mail-in treats. The cigs came in handy, too. When you start smoking? I don't. But there were currency on the inside, and even the girl loved her cookies. I love cookies, Rochelle says from behind him. Lamont jumps and turns, crouching slightly. Rochelle stands in a corner with her mouth open. He slowly stands, unclenching his fist. After several deep breaths, he takes a step toward her. Hey, I say, moving quickly to get between them. But all he does is kneel in front of our sister. He shakes my head. Do you remember me, she asks? She shakes her head. A finger slipped into her mouth. She's a stranger and she's worried. Nuh-uh, T is your brother. She runs around him and comes to me. I pick her up and hold her against my chest. You can have more than one brother, Lamont says, still on one knee. Not you. I don't like you, Rochelle says, because my sister is a smart girl. How is she supposed to know who you are, I ask. She was barely a year old when she started to leave our family. I didn't decide. The wicked witch kicked me out of the shelter and Mom let her. Which makes me take a step backward. Constant Wiggins is the director of the homeless shelter we moved into after we lost our home. Lamont disobeyed rules and scared of the residents and staff. That's why he had to leave. I think he enjoys scaring people, especially me. He laughs, his voice a little raw, as if he no longer used to make that sound. He stands and removes his jacket, letting it fall over one lean muscled arm. Beneath is a black t-shirt. You're all going to have to get used to me now. Lead the way, a short stack. Show me where I'm bunkin'. T. My name is T. Sean. I put Rochelle down and let her follow me down to the short hallway to my bedroom. Our bedroom now. Nothing is mine anymore. He steps inside and turns slowly, pausing once to look at the bunk beds, and a second time to gaze at the wall. I tack up an orange and blue fighting pendant on that wall. It's the emblem of the athlete teams of the University of Illinois at Urban Champaign. That's where plays basketball. Lamont grunts, opens the closet door, and tosses his duffel bag on the floor. An autographed jersey from hangs on the closet door. It's one when he wore his freshman year and signed for me as a Christmas present. Leaky shirt, Lamont says, fingering the jersey, a note of annoyance in his voice. His name is Malak. I back over to the dresser and grab the picture of Malak I keep there. I shove the picture inside a drawer before turns around. I should have moved it in the jersey before Lamont arrived. Malak is black, like us, but his family is wealthy, not like us. He volunteered to be my imitation big brother after Lamont was banished from the shelter until his father gave Mom her job. When I was little, the words Lamont says fell off my lips a dozen times a day. Lamont acts annoyed when I start saying Malak says instead. I forgot how much he hates Malak. Are you two still tight, Lamont asks, clenching his fist. We text every week. I follow him on Twitter. He rolls his eyes. Your hero isn't that different from me. Just because his father can pay for college and cars and for him to play basketball. I used to play a little ball. Malak is the opposite of you, I think. Aloud I say. You never care about schools or teams or anything except being in charge. Oh, please, Short Stack. People are ready to do anything to be on top, including your special friend. Malak is a champion. He's a cheater lie. He's not like... I stopped too late. The twitching muscle in my brother's jaw. He knows what I was about to say. Say, no. I guess your pal Leaky is nothing like me. We stand there, tense and in silence, until Rochelle runs into the room and heads for the beds. Thin and wary, with no fear of heights, she scrambles up the ladder. She bounces around on my top bunk and all the things I scatter on the blanket to stare my phony claim. But I've changed my mind. I would start out by pretending. No fake out, I'll just be myself and tell my rules. I have dibs on the bottom bed. Live with that, Mr. King of the World. You'll be up top, I sleep below, I said. I want to sound firm, only this time to crack into a nervous whisper. I begin throwing my stuff from the top bed to the floor. But we like being up high, Well, Lamont bends and picks up some of the papers I tossed down. What's this? He began reading the swim team papers. Those are mine. I tried to snatch them from his hands. The racing rays. The team's name rolls off the tongue as if he's... Did someone put you up to this? No one put me up to anything. I like to swim and dive. Now give that back. I try jumping to get the papers, but he steps back, holding them out of reach above his head. What do you do? Why, what makes you want to join a swim team? Lamont asks, his voice unemotional. I almost confess about being in the water brings good memories of days when he trusted him. Seriously, why not go try boxing or football? He continues. Go back where the money flows. Do something for a big-time paycheck. Doesn't mean basketball and never even glance at the pediment of the wall. She wants to die. Rochelle explains with exaggeration. Rigid patience. My sister hears all, knows all. Then she adds, what's dive? Lamont keeps looking at me. You want to be a diver? Gosh, the world is crazy. Mother wants to be a racing ray. Why should I want to be part of something good? Something that would make me get a scholarship to college. No reason, I guess, if it's really what you want. I'm shaking, because I'm mad at Lamont and myself. Why didn't I toss those forms the minute Mom said no? Because I still hope I believed in miracles. T, come back up here, Risha calls. I want you to play with me. You can play down below, I mumble. No, you come up here with me, she insists, her fisting. She used to have crying meltdowns. Now that she's older, she just pouts like crazy to get what she wants. And she wants me up there. We only played together in the top bunk one time since it's were delivered. Now she's acting like it's our special place. I reach down to lift her down, but she struggles to pull free. You come with me, she says. This is where you belong. Do you want the top bunk, Lamont asks, looking at me. Yeah, Rochelle asks. T likes it here and like here too. I hesitate a second long ago. You want the high ground? You got it, short stack. Lamont throws my papers back to the bunk shell and then throws himself into the bottom bed. The springs squeak from his weight when it's the mattress. My mattress. Get up, I yell. That's not what you want. He lifts an eyebrow. You know, that tone would make half the guys in the cell block salute you. The other half will go after you. I wonder which half he belonged to. He stay up there, he continues. It's safer. He places his hands behind his head. I step back, away from my brother and that threat. I should have known I would never win against him. Even Mom is quiet during dinner. Lamont grabs a second piece of the steak she cooked and bites down hard, caveman style. My fork through the food, not very hungry and feeling no need to swallow. Rochelle is the only one who doesn't seem to feel the thick, ropey tension swirling around the table. Your parole officer called, Mom says. He wants you to come to his office at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Lamont shrugs, clearly not surprised. The harassment begins, he said gruffly. He has to do his job, Mom says, her voice still calm. Just follow the rules. That's your ticket to staying out of prison, she says. Lamont looks like as he's uninterested in food as I am. Now that Mom does is hand me a cup to fill. My sister, Mrs. Curiosity, looks up. What did you put in his cup? Juice, I say quickly, but the laugh at the thought of Lamont peeing in a cup for a drug test. He throws a shaky smile of gratitude. Mom covers her mouth, but I hear the laughter. Orange juice or apple juice? Or she asks next. Orange, I say, knowing she hates orange juice. Apple, my inexperienced brother answers at the same time. If she asks a question, he's on his own. I don't intend to explain drug tests to a 4-year-old. Rochelle blinks and looks from my face to his. Then she empty cup to him. I'm thirsty. Please fill mine too. I laugh, but I'm surprised and a little disappointed Rochelle accepts him so easily. She even giggles when Lamont goes to the fridge and returns with her juice. I don't forgive like that. She may be too little to remember stuff, but I can't forget. Ever. Just before bedtime, I take my phone to the bathroom. Then I slide the wall in the cold floor. I have to wait until my fingers stop shaking before I can manage to type. Me. Lamont is here. I send that message to Malak and wait. Mom says I can't bother Malak too much. College and basketball take up a lot of his time. Before I left for college, though, he told me I could contact him for anything. Anytime for anything. It only takes a few minutes for him to respond. Hey T, how'd that happen? I couldn't fit the full answer to the in a text. I had to take a deep breath before typing. Early release, good behavior or something, I guess. Are you holding up? Do you need anything? I'm scared. I type in a rush. Then I pause and stare at the send button. The truth is I'm not scared or apprehensive or nervous, anxious, petrified, or any vocabulary words I learned. I opened my picture files and one of the two of us, taken just before he left for the University of Illinois. Malak is smiling, confident, a black man who is going places. He's a big-time important basketball player, and the Illinois are the hunt of a playoff berth. I know he'd come if I asked, but I can't ask. This is not important enough. I erase those words and type out a new message. I'll hang tough. Then I hit send and turn off my phone. Dressed in the oversized Black Lives Matter shirt and a pair of shorts I use for pajamas, I return to the bedroom. Lamont's chest is bare, revealing an updated version of his hard custom body. You've been working out, I say while rubbing my flat stomach. He's got a six-pack. I'm running on empty. I have plenty of time for that. You can sit and think for only so long. Of course, I also had to attend anger management sessions. Did these work for you? My heart jumps. What if he really changed? Maybe I have a real brother again. He looks me over, eyes narrowing. What do you think? He flicks a towel at me, snapping me hard in the bag after paddling down the hall in bare feet for his turn in the bathroom. I think I'm in trouble. I grip the ladder, take a deep breath, and force myself to the top. I sink bonelessly on the mattress and pull the blanket over my chest. I lie on my back and stare at the too-closed ceiling. Resolute. I remember the word from my vocabulary lesson. I'm not scared. I am resolute. He's not the only one who is older and stronger. He may live here now, only a few feet away from me, but he doesn't have to suck me down his dark hole again. End of chapter 8.